didn't know. I literally did not know. I'm just finding this out. Maybe I just haven't really been paying attention. I did not know that the Israelites in the Bible were black people. Did you know that? I'm trying to figure out how I missed that. The funny thing is, that is so interesting that they were enslaved even during the Bible times. Black people were enslaved. The Israelites were black people. It's amazing how so much we're learning about the world by just being on this app alone. Like before this app was even around, the other apps do not, you don't learn the type of stuff you learn on this app about other parts of the world. And the sad thing about it is that it seemed like here in this country, they only allow you to know what they feel like you should know, which don't make sense. You should want us to learn about our world around us. But there was this guy who did a video, and he talked about the black Jews in Ethiopia and what happened to them. And he said there was two operations. One was called Operation of Moses, and the other one was called Operation of Solomon. One happened in 1980, the other one happened in 1991, where Israelis from Israel had went over to Ethiopia, and they had round up a lot of black Jewish people, and I think they gave them the promise that they would have a better life over in Israel because they were Jewish. I don't know. He really didn't go into details like that. But anyway, up a bunch of black Jews and transported them over to Israel to live. And once they got to Israel, they took these people and put them in like a camp and very poor conditions. They abused these people, mistreated them. They just put it this way. They did not have a good quality of life once they went over there to Israel. And then they forced the women to get shots to prevent them from having more children. And they did that. They created the woman to start having the shots before they even consistently brought them over to Israel. And so they did this both times. And now the black Jewish people that are over there in Israel right now lives in very poor conditions. They're being mistreated. They even ran tests on these black Jews over in Ethiopia to make sure that they were really, come from the original Jewish tribes. And they found DNA markers in these people to prove that they come from the original Jews. So these people had lived, and they're in Israel right now, and they live in very poor conditions. They are discriminated against. They are mistreated. They do not have a good quality of life over there. Now, you got to ask yourself this. Why would they do this to these people? There's a reason why they specifically targeted these people and took these people over there, and they're mistreating these people. Those people must be the original people of the Bible. So these people come from the tribe of Dan. There's 12 tribes of the Israelites, and they come from the tribe of Dan, and they've been practicing their religion for ancient lineage, go decades and decades back. This is their history. This is their lineage. They do have the DNA markers to prove that they are the original Jews. My question is, if these are the original Jews, how did the people over there now get there? Go deeper than that? It must go deeper than just taking on, it's our original religion, because why would they take all of those black Jews over there and put them in that camp over there in Israel and mistreat them the way that they are mistreating them today? So I went through the Bible, and what I found was an area called Cush. Ethiopia used to be called Cush during those times. And someone from Ethiopia was called a Cushite. When the Bible says Moses' wife was a Cushite woman, which means she was an African woman. I never knew that. As many times as I have went through the Bible, as many times we hear the Bible stories, I've never heard that Moses was married to a black woman. And then I had to put it in further perspective that if you look at the Bible, most of the vital Bible stories happen either in Africa or near Africa, somewhere in the Middle East. You find, I haven't really found any stories regarding, in the Bible, regarding Europe except Rome. But if you really put it in perspective, Rome is not far from North Africa. Rome is not far from Egypt. So it makes sense that Rome would be mentioned in the Bible. But I haven't read the whole Bible. I don't know if any other countries in Europe were mentioned. So, I know some people won't come on there and argue with me on that, and that's fine. Because I'm learning just like you're learning. And I just learned this. I never knew that the Israelites were black, that they are the original Jews. There's 12 tribes of the Israelites, and the ones that were taken from Ethiopia and taken over to Israel is from the tribe of Dan. Then that means there's 11 other tribes that are scattered across the world. That makes me question, I wonder if this has something to do with why black people has been poorly mistreated across the world. It might have something to do with those 12 tribes, because they're scattered. And the reason why I say that is because black people are mistreated in most countries, or all countries. There's still 11 tribes out there, and they're scattered across the world. Not only were the Israelites of color, people of color, also the pharaohs were people of color as well. I did a DNA test with one of these DNA apps, and it came back that I share the same ancestors as Pharaoh Ramesses III, the last pharaoh in Egypt. Now, keep in mind, in the Bible, the pharaohs are the ones in Egypt that took the Israelites and enslaved them. Well, it's saying that I share the same DNA with Pharaoh Ramesses III, which was the last pharaoh of Egypt, which means they were black too. So that's the reason why I'm thinking that the majority of people in the Bible, these Bible stories, consist of a lot of black people, but we were taught that they were people of, white people. And no.